And a very good Thursday evening to you. We are 48 hours away from taking over the Benz and taking on number 12 Notre Dame, an opportunity to become bowl eligible for your Yellow Jackets this Saturday at 3:30 for your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. We will talk all about it over the next 60 minutes on a brand new edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show. Welcome in across the Georgia Tech Sports Network. My name is Andy Notre. Got a great show lined up for you, and in many respects, an historic one. Now, as you know, we normally do this show from our friends at New Realm Brewing on the east side Beltline of Atlanta. They've been great partners, great supporters of the Brent Key Show. But as you also know, we have had some unbelievable turnout this season from our Georgia Tech students at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. We know you guys will show up and show out just down the road at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday. Just so you all know, Georgia Tech sold out its entire allotment of student season tickets prior to the first home game of the year. The full amount of single game tickets dedicated to Tech students have been claimed for each home game of the season to date. And it was important for Brent. It was important for Georgia Tech athletics. It was important for the Georgia Tech Sports Network to show our appreciation for this spectacular turnout that the Georgia Tech students have delivered each and every week. And we thought it was only fitting to bring Brent Key amongst the students. So tonight, a very special live edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show on campus. And since last year, no student group has had a higher attendance at home games for Georgia Tech football than the brothers of Sigma Alpha Epsilon. And so, folks, we are broadcasting tonight, and this is 100% true, from the steps of SAE, and it is from here that we will talk all about that win over North Carolina last Saturday, what it'll take to get a win this Saturday versus number 12 Notre Dame. And we will do it all with the man to my left, the man of the hour, a man I'm sure who feels in his element tonight here at SAE, your head coach of the Yellow Jackets, Brent Key. Coach, good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
I feel like this brings back some memories for you from your days here at Georgia Tech.
What, you want to talk about them?
We got 60 minutes. We can go on as long as you want.
It really does. I mean, even every day riding down to practice, coming down this way and seeing guys, sometimes early in the morning, still in the front lawn. I don't know who that would be, but no, it does. Just to be around the students, and I want you guys to all understand, like I am no different than y'all. I am y'all. I mean, I appreciate the heck out of you guys. I know what you guys go through every single day. In the challenges you guys have, but let me just tell you, it's all worth it. Right? And whatever classes you might have, they're challenges and they're hard, and the things you go about it. Right? That's why we have football games on Saturday. Be a release for you. Come cheer us on. Our players do the same things. See something. Got Henry Freer.
Oh, we got Henry Freer here, your long snapper.
And Brandon, working on his doctorate, whatever they call it.
Coming from a lab somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
How about the ovation for the long snapper? That is long overdue for Henry.
Josh, Ronnie, what's up?
Yeah. By the way, the student support has been so meaningful to you because we've said this before. At Bobby Dodd Stadium, at Hyundai Field, and Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday. And I think everybody would agree. The student body sets the tone for everybody. And some of the thrilling wins you guys have delivered at home the past couple of years, that would not have been possible without the student section driving that energy. And that's why it was so important for you, Brent, to bring the show on campus here to SAE, just in appreciation of all that the students have meant to you and your program.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to make this a tradition and do this every single week at a different house, different place here on campus, just to show the appreciation to the students and what you guys do every week for us, and just to know that there's a connection between our players and you guys. And I respect, man, much respect for you guys. I'm the biggest Tech guy that there is, and I know what you go through, like I said, every single day. Hey, let everybody on the outside say things about us, all right? But we know who we are. We know who we are as Georgia Tech and Tech men and women, all right? And there's something special about it, and there's something special about you guys, when I – just during games, home games, when I can look up in the student section and see you guys, going crazy and standing up the whole time. I mean, it's awesome. It really is. So much thanks.
I feel like you need to crowd surf at these students at some point. I mean, you always like to celebrate with the students after games, after wins. That might be the next on the itinerary.
Yeah, how about Saturday night?
Sound like a plan? Oh, I like that. I like that thinking. Well, of course, you go into this Saturday coming off a last-second win last Saturday versus North Carolina in Chapel Hill, 41-34. I know you guys were all watching it, listening to it on the Georgia Tech Sports Network. Had some nerve-wracking moments down the stretch, but thank goodness for Jamal Haynes. How about a 68-yard run to the house with 16 seconds left? And, Coach, you rarely see a run of that distance that wins a game so late in a game, and we're better to start than that moment. And Jamal, 170 on the ground, career high for him. He earned ACC Running Back of the Week honors. What was that call that sprung Jamal loose, and what was your reaction when you saw Jamal get into the open field?
Yeah, so first off, we made the game closer than it should have been, and that's on me. I take responsibility for that. I'm the head coach, and we got to do a better job of not making mistakes, especially towards the end. When you get in control of a football game, we got to learn to put people away. We'll take a win every day of the week. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So really going up to the last drive, we let them go down. We held them to a field goal. So it's a tie ball game. We got a couple timeouts left, and we're working to save a timeout for an opportunity to kick a field goal. So we I think we had on the 25 yard on the 25, and Buster calls. I think it was double right stack 16, and we spit the outlet out to Malik, throw a little bubble to Malik, and get about 8 yards. Didn't use the timeout because everyone was close to the ball. We had a chance to get over there closer, hoping to get another chunk, and really 2 plays. I think it was about 35 seconds left in the game. Get 2 chunks and be able to hit the timeout and get a field goal. And Buster calls the same play again. Double right 16. And, you can see Zach really riding that thing down in there and looking out at the bubble. And the bubble comes open late, and he lets it go at the last minute, and Jamal hits it. And it was.
It's a thing of beauty.
I was getting ready to call. I was getting ready for him to go down so I could call timeout quick. And Buster goes, he's going to go. Boys, he's going to go. He's going. Oh, my God. And he takes off.
This through your headset.
Yes. And, everyone, you see on the tape, everybody's sprinting. The strength coaches are all sprinting down to the end. Well, they're sprinting down there to barricade so no one goes out on the field so we don't get a penalty. And, at that point, the only thing that's going through my head is, Jamal, please hold that thing across the goal line. Don't do anything stupid. And he didn't. And, then I saw Eric flying up on the side, running about 25 miles an hour, chasing him down to be there. And then we obviously, were able to go ahead and save the last 2 plays with them on offense and get the win. But, now it's on to the next one and time to get ready to play a good competitive game Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So the play call on the touchdown was the exact same play call that Buster dialed up the previous play, except this time it was the handoff and obviously a definitely one done by Zach Byron to Jamal. But it was the exact same formation, exact same play.
Correct.
Wow. How about that? You'd think that North Carolina would be prepared for it, but evidently not. And
you think?
Yeah, one would think. And before we go to break, it wasn't just Jamal. It wasn't just Haynes King, who also topped 100 rushing yards. How about 371 rushing yards against North Carolina? Folks, 371. That is the second most rushing yards versus a Power 4 opponent in college football this season. I'm sure every single one of those 371 felt sweet for various reasons for Georgia Tech fans. But you add that to the Duke game. That's 616 rushing yards for your offense over the last 2 games. You go from 10th in the ACC in rushing to first now entered this Saturday. What has this team recaptured in the run game that maybe had gone dormant the previous 2 games before the bye? Yeah,
well, we had to make some adjustments in the bye week and get back on track. But, to be honest with you, we went into that game with more of a plan to throw the football, and our whole philosophy offensively is to take what they give us and not if they got extra guys in the box, we'll be able to throw it. If they got extra guys in coverage, be able to run it. And we get in the game and we're thinking, all right, we're probably going to be throwing the ball more just based on what they've done. And for whatever reason, there was some changes and some adjustments made, and we were able to start getting 4 yards, 5 yards, 10 yards, and they just started working. So we just kept doing it.
That's back-to-back games, averaging better than 7 yards a tote. And that is certainly a good way to go into the next matchup, which, again, is Saturday, Tomey-Sled at 3:30. Your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and the number 12 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We got to hit our first break. It is a lively atmosphere here on 4th Street as we are broadcasting live on the Brent Key Coaches Show from the steps of Sigma Alpha Epsilon. Our thank you to the great Georgia Tech student section turnout all season long here at Bobby Dodd Stadium, a Hyundai Field, as Brent hands with his camera. We'll take a timeout. Back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? As we welcome you back to our live edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show on the steps. Yes, on the steps of Sigma Alpha Epsilon here on 4th Street. We got all the brothers and pledges of SAE here on the lawn. We've got folks moseying down 4th Street, joining the festivities. Almost like a block party here, Brent. Good way to do it. Good way to set the tone for Saturday.
It's like a bonfire in the middle of the street right there.
That would be nice. Well, don't give them any ideas here.
Yeah, we call Chief Conley. You might not like that.
I know you got him on speed dial, but not for those purposes. Once again, Georgia Tech versus Notre Dame. Number 12 Fighting Irish. They come in a record of 5-1. Your Yellow Jackets, one win away from becoming bowl eligible for a second straight season, 5-2 after that 41-34 win over North Carolina on Saturday. Toby's Leather, 3:30. You can listen to it, of course, on the Georgia Tech Sports Network. By the way, since we are here at SAE, if you'll indulge me, Brent, can I give you some notable alums of the Georgia Tech chapter of SAE?
Yes, sir.
Bobby Jones. Yep. Former Atlanta Mayor Ivan Allen Jr. was the Georgia Tech SAE. He's a legend in our radio booth. Our network statistician and spotter, Al Serraldo Jr., he was an SAE back in the day, so give it up for Al. We could not do our job without Al. And, you know, there's a difference between a distinguished alum and an alum, but I know you guys will claim him. Our own Wiley Ballard was an SAE. Very muted applause, and rightfully so for Wiley. But, yeah, if you do want to go inside the house here, Brent, you can see Wiley's pledge picture, because that is some capital L lettuce on a young Wiley Ballard. I just got a picture on my phone here. Yeah. If only you could see that reaction through the radio. But, yes, great to be here at SAE. And, again, we're here at SAE because SAE, of all the student groups at Georgia Tech, had the highest turnout at home games last year, among the leaders in turnout in the student section this year. And so as a show of appreciation from us to you, we are here not only on campus, but on the steps.
That sounds like a challenge to beta.
SAE. Yeah, we got the beta house.
It sounds like a challenge to beta over there.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, we can go across the street. We got balcony bed sheet just like this as well. We can make this a thing, no doubt about it. But no, thank you so much for the hospitality here from Sigma Alpha Epsilon. As we said, since you guys are here, we'd love to entertain some of your questions. We have some folks who are ready to ask questions. All right, Brent, you're in the firing line here. As, we got first off, state your name, where you're from. You can look at Brent Key as you ask the question here. It doesn't need to be that weird. Your name, where you're from, what year you are here at Georgia Tech, maybe a major, and fire away with your question for Brent.
Hi, Sam here. I actually graduated Georgia Tech a couple years ago, but back here now. The program's doing well, so had to make it back. And
where are you from?
I'm from Dunwoody.
All right, long way away.
CS major, but given the current state of college football and NIL and all, what is Georgia Tech doing to kind of position itself with recruiting with regards to marketing, now that that's probably more important than ever?
Yeah, it is. It's extremely important. It's one of those things that is, it's here to stay. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to it and ignore it. It's our lifeline. I mean, the acquisition of talent and the retention of talent is the most important thing we can possibly do. And look, I learned from Coach Saban a long time ago that you can't make a bad player play good. So let's keep getting good players. Like look at Freer over there. Look at Freer.
Yeah.
But no, it is. It has to do with the acquisition, the retention, and stepping into this new realm of college football. We're going to support it. We're going to be behind it, and we need all you guys that are here to continue to be about it too. And then when you graduate and move on and do big things in life, just know that coming back and supporting Georgia Tech and Georgia Tech athletics is something very important to be able to do.
Awesome. Sam, thanks for the question. We got a guy who's dressed like me. You notice I tried to blend in here at SAE, so I dressed like a pledge. I feel like Luke Wilson from Old School. I feel like I'm in Mitchapalooza tonight, but you know what? I appreciate it. Mitchapalooza, yeah. Snoop-a-loop. All right, next question. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. My name is Marco. I'm a first-year industrial engineering major from Marietta, Georgia. I'm also a pledge at Beta. And
there they are.
I want to ask, will Haynes King play tomorrow?
Did you listen to the radio show?
No.
Well, I'll answer that question. No, he will not play because tomorrow is Friday.
Good call.
Yeah, there
Good
we
call.
go. Well,
We play Saturday.
Game time decision.
We had a lot of people who were all of a sudden clutching that wheel really hard listening to us. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah, game time decision.
Let's talk more about Haynes King because, like Jamal, he topped 100 rushing yards and he grinded it out.
But he was at practice today.
There we go. But you saw Haynes King, you saw Zach Pyron get the final couple of series, and look, Zach Pyron is not your typical second-string quarterback. Here's the guy who had 2 starts as a true freshman, had a come-from-behind win on the road at Virginia Tech, which is not an easy place to play, and I know that Zach is just a guy that has a lot of moxie, and the guys really rally around him. So Haynes or Zach or some combination thereof, Zach Pyron is every bit the leader in this Georgia Tech locker room as anybody else.
Look, and that's the thing. Like, we want to build a program, a sustainable program over the course of not just a season but long term. Build the foundation of a program that all these guys that are out here tonight can come out and be proud of 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And to do that, it really goes back to the NIL question as well. I mean, it's the building of depth on your roster. Building the competition on your roster so that if injuries happen, injuries occur. And look, this is a game of football. They're going to happen. And when those things happen, that you've got depth where there's really not a drop-off. And that's what we want to continue to build and work towards.
All right, awesome. Great question. Griffin, I think you're next up. We all know Griffin, but you can introduce yourself anyway. Go ahead with your question for Brent.
Hey, Coach. My name's Griffin. The cool thing, I'm actually the drummer for y'all's marching band. So...
Yes, you are.
Yeah, and besides Ramble, what other song do you like to hear us play?
Oh, you're putting Brent on the spot here. That's a good question, Griffin.
Fight song after a win.
Awesome.
All right, can you RSVP that for Saturday at about 6:30, 7 o'clock?
Any band members, y'all hear that?
I think we can do that, yeah.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
And I want to thank you guys, too. I mean, the band, you guys are awesome. You are a big part of that, too. We're all one family. We are all one family. It doesn't matter if it really doesn't. It doesn't matter what year you are, what major you are. You play a sport, don't play a sport. You're in activities, or maybe you're from Ireland. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I see Shanahan over there. It doesn't matter. We're all one family. We're all part of this together, and we're all in this together.
We'll take one more question from our fans here before we hit our first time out. Name, year, where you're from. Your question for Coach.
I'm Heinz Harmon. I'm from Atlanta.
There we go.
I'm a first-year CS major here.
We're at in Atlanta.
Vinings.
Okay.
I went to Whitfield. Okay. So
I was going to say, who's asking the questions here? All right, go ahead.
As an offensive lineman yourself, it's 4th and goal on the 1-yard line. What play are you running?
Long one, short one. What time of the game? What part of the game? Are we up or are we down?
Tie game. Or no, you're down by 4. 1 second left on the
down by 4. Need a touchdown to win?
Yes.
Right now, we run the same play we're going to run on Saturday.
Okay.
You see what he did there, right? You see? Okay, very nice. Look, I've done this with this man long enough. He's only going to reveal so much of the playbook, so I just have to wait until Saturday. But you know what? If it results in a tutty and a win for your Yellow Jackets and a ranked win at that over number 12 Notre Dame, it'll be a play well called. We'll hit our next time out here. Again, we are live tonight at the House of Sigma Alpha Epsilon here at Georgia Tech. A very special live edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show, driven by Hyundai. We're back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network. Hyundai and Georgia Tech together in tech, innovation, and progress with a new EV plant in Georgia. Hyundai looks forward to growing ties with the Institute and the community. Together, we're building the future of technology right here in Georgia. Hyundai and Georgia Tech, it's our journey. Welcome back, Brent Key Coaches Show, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network. Live from the steps of SAE on 4th Street, right in the heart of campus. And we will see you just a mile down the road for the annual matchup at Mercedes-Benz, your Yellow Jackets, and Notre Dame Fighting Irish. If you missed the news earlier today, the roof will be open on Saturday, which is probably for the best because I know Tech fans will be blowing it off anyway with all the noise they'll be making as Georgia Tech takes on the Fighting Irish for a 38th time in program history. And the more things change, the more they stay the same, Coach, because there was a very familiar last name on the field on Saturday. I know you had to weather some injuries in your tight ends room, and A guy by the name of Luke Harpering, your true freshman. He showed the moment was not too big for him, but a couple of receptions. I know his dad, Matt Harpering. Look, none of these people on these steps here were born by the time Matt wrapped up his playing career. Maybe the only person on campus who was alive was Sylvanian Jewin. But you overlapped with Matt for a couple of years at Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah, we were here together.
What did you make of Luke's performance? He went out there and looked like he belonged.
Yeah, he does. Luke's a good football player. Yeah, and in high school, he was offensive player, defensive player, played tight end, defensive end. And look, I know who his dad is. We all know who his dad is. But I make a very strong effort from the day that we started recruiting Luke that we were recruiting Luke because of Luke, not because of Matt. Mm-hmm. Right? And Matt had an unbelievable storied career here, and then on professional ranks, number retired, all those things. But Luke is Luke, and I think that's important to make sure that people understand that he's his own, even though he's a legacy, he is his own person, and he's making his own name for himself in his own sport. An
injury or not, it's not easy for a true freshman skill player to get on the field. And so that's certainly a credit to what he's done and how he's developed since he arrived in the offseason. But again, the tight ends, it's such an integral part of Buster's offense, but it also shows how well these kids are getting coached, where a guy like Luke Harpering can step up when Rylan Godey goes down in the first quarter, and he goes out and becomes a presence and has some really good catches and runs after the catch to press you guys downfield.
Yeah, one of them was kind of a busted type play, and he was able to get the reception and make a lot of it. But the tight ends are important to us. They're very versatile. We don't just use them at the line of scrimmage. We use them split out. We use them in motions. Heavy special teams, and that's something that really hurt us in the game from a special team standpoint. We lost so many tight ends, and you look at your safeties, your linebackers, your tight ends, and your running backs, and we had the injury bug a little bit there, but hopefully we can continue to get these guys back healthy and full force.
Well, if you know one thing about Georgia Tech kids, they are tough, and I know they're hard at work trying to get themselves ready for game day. And Tommy Leather against Notre Dame, 3:30 on Saturday. Yeah, darn right about that. Once again, we got a live mic. Love to entertain some questions from our live audience. I think we have one in the queue. So microphone in hand. Name, sir. Year. I think we have the question all in the notes app. No, he just wants a picture taken of him asking you a question. Okay, here we go. Name, year, major. Your question for Brent. Go ahead.
Hi, Brent. My name is Matt Strom. I'm a fourth-year Georgia Tech Excel student, and Excel is a program with kids with special education experience real. So we take special class and normal classes, but we have a thing. My question to you is, throughout your 2 years at Tech, what's the biggest win that you've gotten so far as a coach?
The next one. Look, winning's hard.
Yeah.
Winning is hard, and it doesn't matter to me, what team we play, what they're ranked, whatever. I mean, winning's hard to do, and it's important that we win and celebrate wins. And these guys put a lot of work in, during the week and during the off season to culminate into really just 12 opportunities to play the game. So they're all important.
Good answer. Good question as well. All right, next up, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Alistair from Peachtree City, Georgia, and I'm an industrial engineering major. My question is, since you've taken over as head coach, there's been a big shift in emphasis on recruiting. Of course, getting that 5-star first one in a very long time. And then hopefully the edge rusher, Chase Linton, I think he has his visit soon.
I can't talk about recruiting.
Technically talk about it, but yes, point well taken.
Can you talk about the change in emphasis and pressure on recruiting, especially in the Atlanta area as well, of trying to grow Georgia Tech football back again?
I mean, we're right here in the heart of the South, and there's no greater footprint for recruiting than here in the Southeast and here in the state of Georgia and the city of Atlanta. And like I said, at the end of the day, that's our lifeline. The players that strap up and suit up every Saturday, and that's not just the emphasis. I mean, it's the thing. And as a coach and a coach working here, I mean, you've got to be able to develop and coach your players on the field and have them perform and play with discipline and toughness on Saturday. And you got to be able to recruit your position and recruit your area. And that's what everyone's evaluated on. I mean, that's what I'm evaluated on. And we put a lot of, I won't say, we put pressure on the guys. I mean, we put pressure on people to make sure that we do it the right way. I mean, we want to look. I've said this for a long time. There's 25 guys a year that are really good football players, but are also good kids and fit in here at Georgia Tech, because this is a unique place. Right? You got to be special to go here. You really do. All right, and there's enough guys out there that play football, and we see it right now. I mean, there's a group of guys over there. I mean, more and more showing up. But it's important that we get the right guys here. All right, I want really, really good football players, but I want guys that are going to know what it's like to be a Tech man and the importance of this. I say it all the time to recruits. I want guys that want to come in here and be first-round draft picks, right, and CEOs.
Not bad. Porque no los dos. Speaking of recruiting, you want to share the story of your recruiting visit to Georgia Tech? Because I hear it involves like cowboy boots and a flannel shirt or something to that effect.
I don't know. Them stories get way blown out of proportion.
Well, okay. Well, then bring it back to proportion for us.
You can't really, because it's a different age here now. I mean, back then, as we know, Buckhead now was not Buckhead then. There were several places to go. Establishments, and look, at the end of the day, I really enjoyed the people I was around. I enjoyed the challenge of coming to Georgia Tech, and I think we all want challenges, and knowing what could be on the back end when I graduate. And that's one thing I want to tell everyone that's out here right now, right, is you go through school, you sometimes you don't realize, people tell you, but as I'm sitting here right now, guys, please believe me, when you get out of Georgia Tech, right, it's going to be the absolute, not just graduating and getting out, but actually what it allows you to do. And don't waste it. Do not waste this opportunity that you all have. Right? You have an opportunity to change the world. Right? Now, do I use math equations and chemistry and all that stuff that I do? No, I don't. I mean, Freer's GPA is twice what mine was when I graduated. and Josh and David, all of them over there actually, but. Georgia Tech teaches you how to figure things out. It teaches you how to solve problems, solve real life problems, right? It teaches you how to take over a football program, Game 5, and get it flipped around. All right, that's what it teaches you. That's what this place teaches you. And whether you work in whether you work in sports, whether you work as an engineer, an architect, business, finance, it doesn't matter. If you guys take advantage of it, right, you guys are going to run the world one day. I promise you.
Yeah. That's some wisdom from your head coach, Brent Key. We got to hit another timeout. Do want to remind you the Brent Key Coaches Show is brought to you by Aero Exterminators, going beyond the call. Once again, countdown is on to Tome Weiss Leather, 3:30 Saturday, your Yellow Jackets, and number 12, Notre Dame. Will dive more into the scouting report of the Fighting Irish. We know we will see you there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We are here tonight at SAE, right on campus at Georgia Tech, in amongst the students, a student appreciation edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show. We'll be back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
It's college football season, so you need all the energy you can get. Luckily, Georgia Power knows a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit georgiapower.com/myenergy to learn more.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Right now, for a limited time, get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end October 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
It's Dari from R.S. Andrews. And people always ask, what's the R.S. and R.S. Andrews stand for? R.S. means rapid service. I know what it's like waiting for a repair guy to show up, so I made sure when you call us, we have somebody ready to jump to action. Rapid service. Your AC needs to keep working for several more weeks. So if you're hearing a clunk, clank, or smelling some stank, we're ready to help. RS means rapid service. Schedule at rsandrews.com.
One of the best things that's happened here in Atlanta is the arrival of QC Kinetics. Their amazing regenerative medicine treatments have helped so many people with lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's Cellini here, and I'm one of those patients, and I know the demand for QC treatments is so strong that they are now opening another clinic, this one in Douglasville, while continuing treatment in Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Decatur, and Stockbridge. They're a game changer, QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, using a modern-day approach to deal with chronic joint pain. All natural, that's the process, using healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints so you can get your life back, be active again without that chronic pain and without surgery or drugs. You've been hearing about it. Stop putting it off. Do what I did. If you have arthritic pain or pain from an injury, do what so many others have already done. Call QC Kinetics. It's a free consultation. Call now, 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026. QC Kinetics. Be a part of the family today. 770-285-8026.
Every Georgia Tech game is on Atlanta's flagship station for the Yellow Jackets. This is The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. Georgia Tech football continues to buzz. Now more of the Coach Brent Key Show, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Yellow Jacket fans, be sure to visit GeorgiaPower.com/community to learn new ways to stay connected. Georgia Power, the official energy sponsor of Georgia Tech Athletics. Power on Georgia. It is a scene here tonight, folks. Wish you could see it. Listening on the radio, we are again live at Sigma Alpha Epsilon in recognition and appreciation of the fantastic student turnout that we've had all season at Bobby Dodd Stadium, a Hyundai Field that we will again see and more importantly hear Saturday at Mercedes-Benz when your Yellow Jackets take on number 12 Notre Dame. Good to see the wreck roll by here during the commercial break, Coach.
Yeah, it was.
I like that. We got some more questions from our live audience. Yes, young man, your question for head coach Brent Key.
Hey, I'm Steve Self. I graduated in 1974.
All righty.
I was in this fraternity. I'm guilty, but
I know you folks will show them a good time after this show is over.
All right, but anyway, my question is, Coach, when you were playing football a couple of years ago, what was your favorite memory of busting someone's ass?
Looking at them afterwards. Just that's why you play the game. That's why you play. I mean, you play the game to be able to look. We have different goals and things we want to do in the program, but the one thing that's really, really important to me is, regardless of the outcome of a football game, when we get done playing, I want that other team to say, I never want to play those guys again. Right? And that's the physicality I want us to play with, the toughness I want us to play with, right? And the ability to line up and dominate the man across from them.
And before we get to our next question, so often we think of blocking strictly in terms of the five guys up front. But your offense wouldn't work without getting great perimeter blocking from your wide receivers. And you see some of those wide zone plays and speed sweeps to the edge that are springing for double-digit yards. You turn on the tape or you watch the replay on the telecast, you will see guys like Eric Singleton Jr. and Malik Rutherford, Chad Alexander peeling out wide, sticking their guys. You can tell that is a team-wide cultural thing. Your guys embracing blocking and helping their teammates out.
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the game. And look, I mean, you don't get the big chunk plays as a receiver if you don't go in there and be able to block. And you get, the cracker places and the RPOs and things that flow off of the blocking. But look, we're all in this together. There's no one position greater than the other positions. And the four pillars of our program are really important, and they're important to me. And it's the toughness, the discipline, the commitment, the execution that you have to play the game. And nothing is more important than toughness. And it really starts with being mentally tough. And toughness isn't what some people think of going and starting a fight and getting into it with somebody. That's fake toughness. That's bull crap. Right? Mm-hmm. Toughness is ability to withstand hard times, to be able to do things that not necessarily that you want to do. To be able to sustain, to be able to finish, right? To be able to graduate from Georgia Tech. Right? Those are all super signs of toughness.
Really quick before we go to our next question on Jamal's game-winning run versus North Carolina. Who were the guys who stuck their blocks to open that hole for Jamal?
Well, it was a counterplay to the right. It was a GT counterplay. Guard to the backside, the left guard, left tackle were both pulling. We got a good double team on the front side. Jordan Williams did a nice job of wheeling back on the linebacker. Joe Fusel was the one pulled the kick out, and then Corey Robinson was the other one to come and get the other kick out block. But then down the field, and if you look at the tape, we have GPS monitors on all of our players, and we monitor their speeds. And the fastest speed that we've had in the game so far to this day was on that run. But it wasn't Jamal. It was Eric from the backside receiver tracking him down and passing about 10 people on the field.
Wow.
I think it was 23.6 miles an hour.
Can't teach speed. That'll get you a ticket here from Georgia Tech PD. You go 23 miles per hour. All right, next question from our live audience. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, how are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good, but you better I beat you.
My name's Stephen Harvey. I'm a CS major here at Tech.
A lot of CS majors, CS and industrial.
Yeah. From Roswell, Georgia. I have a question for you. What are a couple players that we'd say that don't shine as bright on the field, but really represent your culture here that you're trying to build and create?
Oh, goodness. That's a good question. And I don't want to say one without, with missing some, but I'll say this. When I can say everyone, all right, that's when we'll know where we need to be. All right, but when we say everyone, because that's the goal, is to have every single person on the team, walking the same line, believing the same thing, fighting for the same mission, locked in arms, and playing as a team.
All right, there you go. Next question. Go ahead.
Freer wants. That was a loaded question.
I saw Henry kind of raising his hand in the corner.
How about Rude Dog over there?
But no, you got a lot of guys, and I think that it's a good point that there are a lot of guys that may not see a lot of snaps on Saturday, but what they mean, what they represent, day in and day out, in the weight room, on the field, giving your guys the good look. It's a collective effort. It's not always the guys that you see between the lines on Saturday who are responsible for a victory. And you got a locker room loaded with guys who understand their role, embrace their role, and do all of those right things away from the spotlight and from the TV cameras, without which you wouldn't be as successful as you are.
You're right. All right, I got a question, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, not y'all, Freer and your crew, not you guys. Raise your hand here if you've been here at least a year and you have a 4.0 GPA. Raise your hand. How many? Raise them up.
Dang.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right. What about raise your hand back there, football player, if you got one. If you got a 4.0.
Hey.
All right.
I like that.
Freer, what about you? Raise your hand if you're getting your doctorate.
Yeah. They don't make them too many like Henry Freer, folks. We've told you this. Henry is, to our knowledge, the only active football student athlete who's also pursuing his doctorate, and he's doing it at Georgia Tech. So we're trying to make Henry the most well-known long snapper in all of college football, because that man certainly deserves it.
Yeah, that's all great. Just snap it straight.
All right, another question. Go ahead, sir.
Evening, Coach. My name is Samuel. I'm a fourth-year aerospace major from Kelton, Georgia. I wanted to ask you about jerseys and uniforms from the past. Tech has some great ones over the years, some great memories, especially the Gaelic ones from the beginning of the season. I was wondering if you had some favorites from your years at Georgia Tech, and if there's any cool alternatives coming down the pipeline for the future.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. As far as uniforms, look, I don't care what we wear to play the game. I really don't. As long as there's a GT that represents all who we are on the helmet, I'm fine with it. But it's what the players like. I don't choose the uniforms each week. I mean, the players choose them. They choose what we wear. So. There's nothing better than white and gold to me, and that's who we are. That's our colors. That's what's important to me.
Are you surprised?
Aerospace.
Yeah.
Shane Kimbrough came by the office today.
I work with an aerospace guy, Sean Bedford, at Georgia Tech. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little more lucrative of a major than broadcast communications. I can assure you that.
Where did Sean graduate from?
He graduated from Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Yeah, sure did. And an all-ACC offensive lineman for the Yellow Jackets as well. Before we hit a break, since we're talking about uniform combinations, are you kind of surprised that the short-sleeve hoodie that you wear has become such a fashion statement? You don't strike me as too much of a fashion icon or somebody who puts a lot of thought into fashion, period, but that's kind of become your trademark in a very short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd wear a hoodie. I mean, I think I got a hoodie on. Yeah, I do.
It's a little surprising you got the long sleeves on here for the hoodie.
Yeah, well, I don't wear a cutoff hoodie to work.
Okay. Well, at practice, yes.
At practice, I do. Yeah, it's a funny story behind it too, but
probably not one that can be shared.
Correct.
We appreciate you churching it up here at SAE tonight. We'll get your final timeout. We got one more segment to go. Again, it is a student appreciation edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show, live from the steps of SAE on the campus of Georgia Tech. One last segment with the head coach Brent Key. That is next on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.